Hello everybody, Sky here, and today I'm giving you guys a quick little showcase of a thing I built like 2 weeks ago and was gonna use for like a little short, but then I never got around to doing it, so now I'm actually making the showcase that I meant to do after the short because it's just sort of been sitting around and I haven't shown anyone it yet. So yeah, I made a Gaster Blaster. For no reason, really. So, a lot of people recently rediscovered my Sans Stronger Than You live action music video, and I keep getting asked to remake it or do like a remaster of it, and I was like, you know what, maybe I'll do that eventually, but I'm gonna kind of slowly start building some Undertale related props, and this was one of the first big ones that I decided to make. So depending on the angle it doesn't quite look right, but I think overall it looks pretty good. So real quick before I show you this, here's a little before photo. For some reason I bought this thing at Spirit Halloween for like $10, and I was like, ooh, I could make that into a Gaster Blaster. And basically I had to remove some of the tusks and then modify it a bit, and it ended up turning out like this. So I think from the side especially it looks really good. From the front it's okay because you can't really see the eye holes, but like from different angles and stuff I think it looks really good. All these spikes on the back I added myself. So I basically used foil, and then I coated some of them in hot glue and some of them in EVA foam clay, and then I did a basically like a bone wash over the whole thing, and then I added little tusks instead of the big ones that were on there, which kind of were like that tall, so they looked a little out of place. So yeah, there is a little hole right here that I can put a little stick in there, and then I can hold it in front of a green screen a lot better without having to worry about masking out my hands every time. And yeah, so pretty happy with how it turned out. I think it looks way better than what I used in the original Sans Undertale video. Here's what those looked like. Actually, I still have them. Here's one. Yeah, it's a little 3D printed thing I made ages ago. People said that they looked super cursed in the video. I'd probably say I agree a little bit. I think they looked pretty good for my skill level at the time, but now that I have this in comparison to it, as you can kind of see, this the new one looks way more threatening and like freaky. And the way I used the old one was I had a second one with its mouth open, and I just kind of did like a jump cut between the two. This one I can physically make the mouth open and close to like shoot the lasers and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the Gaster Blaster side of things. I do actually have a couple other props that I made for the video that will probably show up in it, but I haven't really done anything with yet, but I figure I might as well just throw them in here to make this video a little bit longer just for you guys. They're all kind of the same theme as bones and stuff. So I made a skull mask for Sans. Essentially, I took a pre-existing mask from Spirit Halloween that was plastic, and I gave it a paint job. It matches the Gaster Blasters pretty well, and the thought process behind this is if and when I do make that video, for some parts of the song, Sans would be lip-syncing like regular, and then when he goes into like a battle, he would do like a fun wipe across his face, and then the skull mask would just like appear behind it, and then he would have it as more like a battle mask kind of a thing, sort of like, because so many people on the original one said, you know Sans is skeleton, right? And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of obvious. It's called creative liberties, people. Another little thing I made was this bone. Essentially, I had an old handle to a thing. I think it was a scythe. I took it apart and I added 2 ends on it. I tried to make it look more like a realistic bone rather than like a cartoon bone. So a bit more like a femur. I think that's the one. So it's more of like an actual thing. And in the original video I basically used a 2D image and made it like float up and down and stuff. But with this thing I can film it in front of a green screen, make it rotate, make it look like it's actually 3D in there, and plus it's actually decent size for me to use as like a prop if for whatever reason I decide to add Sans like grabbing a bone or whatever. In the video. And then the last prop which I think is probably the coolest. Well, personally I think it's the coolest. Makes about the least amount of sense for Sans, but like I said, if and when I make a remaster of that video, I'm gonna be taking some creative liberties with it, and I'm gonna be turning it into more of a thing I want to work on rather than it being like strictly Undertale related. So that's kind of why on the like test remake he has Papyrus's scarf around him, because that was kind of like the I think it's Gaster Sans or something, like the AU where he's got the scarf on him. But I thought that was kind of like a cool idea to just spice things up a little bit. But yeah, needless to say, I made a bone sword. I think it looks pretty cool. So I don't really have an exact purpose for this, but if and when I do make the video, I think it would be pretty cool for Sans to like pull out a sword out of nowhere and just kind of like block a couple of the knife hits from Frisk, and then just kind of be like, gotcha, sort of a deal. One of the ideas I kind of want to try for the video, if you are from the future, you can always click back to this and see if I actually did make this in the remake or remaster of the video, but I think it would be really cool for like a VFX shot to have Sans like snap his fingers, a bone appears floating in front of him, and then he like grabs it out of the air, and then like basically like whips his wrist, and then it like turns into like a sword. I think that would be pretty sick. But who knows? I don't know if I'm even gonna make the video. Maybe I will. Probably will. Maybe I won't. I don't know. Depends on if this video does well, subscribe and stuff. Am I at any... I don't think I'm really able to make demands at this point. Please just watch my content, guys. And yeah, the last thing for the props, I guess, that I can kind of show. I didn't really make this, I just bought it at Spirit Halloween. I keep seeing Spirit Halloween, but like it's not sponsored, I just went there and spent my own money. But they sold this pretty nice looking like kitchen knife thing, and it's actually pretty nice quality, so I think this is gonna be Frisk's knife in the video if and when I do make it, so I think it looks pretty cool. But yeah, so that was a lot of me talking about stuff that isn't a Gaster Blaster. Getting back to it, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more Undertale stuff. I'm trying to branch out, so like the video, it really helps. And yeah, I don't really have much more to say. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.